thank you for joining me today. So today's video, we're going to be using this Sweet Sunday sketch. And this one doesn't have a whole lot of measurements, so I'm going to try and talk you through them as we put it together, okay? So I have everything pre-cut, and we're doing an A2 size card, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And instead of using the art glitter glue, I'm going to use the Gina K. I wanted to see how this works. A lot of people have been using it lately, so we're going to be using it today. I'm still using the ATG gun, and I'm using the glue to give me a little bit of time where I can pull it back up and move around if I need to. And it did allow me to pull it back up, but you'll see a couple of times, and it might just be because of the paper that I'm using. It's not very strong paper, so when you go to pull it, it does leave a little bit of like residue behind, but you're able to shift it around and try and get it laid better. So the matte piece was 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. This pattern paper that we're getting ready to lay down is going to be 4 by 5 1/4. And I'm using another one of the sort of ombre papers that are in the collection. But this one is with the purple and the blue. And then we're going to start layering our accent pieces on top. And this one is hard to see. There is a pattern on it. It's only because I'm pulled back. But it's sort of the gray and whites, and it's like leaves. And I'm just trying to, bear with me here. I had to grab something off side, and then, okay, I'm laying down some more of the Connect glue, and I realized that putting more of it down all over could help in my readjusting efforts as well. Because for some reason, this one in particular, I had a real hard time seeing it. And sometimes it's because of the matte, you know, even though it's the glass matte, black paper on top of it, sometimes it's hard to line it up because it just blends, you know. So I did the best I could, and then when I put it on top of the paper, I'm like, okay, you know, it doesn't always have to be super perfect. If you need it super perfect, you probably want to go get a Hallmark card, something that is, you know, machine cut out and a more precise manner. I think the part of it being a little wonky at times is one of the better qualities of it being a handmade card. So now we're gonna do this beautiful blue paper. I love this paper. So I definitely wanted to use it again. We used it in last week's card, and I wanted it to really stand out, so I used it as the top layer. And then we're gonna have a foiled black piece of foiled paper and the sentiment on top. So we're going to go ahead and start laying our layers down. So again, now the pattern papers here, let me give you those sizes, because I had to keep trimming them down to get it to how I wanted it to look as far as what the sketch is. But I want to say I ended up with 3 1/4 by 4 1/2 for the pattern paper, and then the mattes I just went 1/8 of an inch bigger, so it would be 3 3/8 by 4 5/8 for the mattes, and I did both papers the same exact size. And then the one I put on straight, and then the blue one here, we're just going to tilt it a little bit on the angle. And then for the black strip, it kind of sits up a little bit, so sorry, I'm trying to make my sketch come back. It went away on my screen. But the way it was laying, I'm like, I think I need some foam on the opposite ends, and then I'll use the glue and tape in the center, and that will make it feel more evenly secured, if that makes sense. So I'm just laying them down. And then as I lay it down, I'm testing it out to make sure I got it in the right spot. All right. I realize I have it up too high, so I'm going to slide it down. And then when I find the right spot, we'll go ahead and get that put down. So I'm going to start by putting my ATG in the center and then adding some of the Connect glue. And I did find with using this glue, it was easy to squeeze out. My only thought was I'm going to need to get more, because you see I use that big bottle of art glitter glue, and these little things, though they are nice, you know, because they fit small in your hands, I have a feeling I'd be going through this very quickly, you know what I mean? And I only have the one, so far I liked how it came out, and it seems like everything is laying really nice on the card. Now that I'm looking at it, this is the voiceover is the day after. Okay, so for our sentiment, I cut that at 2x3, and I used some of the puffy stickers from the Pink Fresh collection that matches the paper that we're using. And once I got that attached, I'm just here putting down a few of the Nuvo drops in the ivory or white. I think it's the white. Hold on. Yeah, I think it's the white. So what I'm doing here is just really tapping it, because what I like about the I want to say it's the crystal drops, when you tap them like that, they flatten out. And oh, this is the paper collection, the Indigo Hills 2. That's the collection that we used. The glue is that Gina K Connect glue, and of course the beautiful collection. I really enjoy this collection, and I was hoarding it, but now I've started cutting into it and now I want to keep using it. So thank you guys for joining me. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, and share button, and if you have any comments, just make sure you leave them down below. Thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great weekend.